Thunder, Lakers. Game 2 is tonight, and SGA has the most consecutive 20-point games in NBA history at 140. That's after he broke Wilt Chamberlain's record earlier this season. But that's actually a regular season record, and it's still active, and that's what makes the Lakers, what they did in Game 1 of the conference semifinals, so impressive here, because they held SGA under 20 points for the first time all season long. So, Kendrick Perkins, how exactly did they do it?
Well, Malika, listen. We call him Shea Butter for a reason. It's because he's smooth and he always get off. But the Lakers buttered him, okay? And they bobbled him up in a way that we've never seen before. Excellent game plan. I want you to look at Marcus Smart. Applying pressure, testing his handle, and then all of a sudden calls for the double team, traps him, get the ball out of his hand, and then you have LeBron James, one of the best in the business at reading plays, gets the steal, get out in transition. Okay, here we go in the second half. Again, all attention. They don't even care about Jalen Williams. They leave, LaRavia comes and trap. All of a sudden, we looking, great activity. Austin Reaves reads the play, you force a turnover. But unfortunately, it didn't work. You hold Shea to 18 points, but all of a sudden, in those 18 plays that he was trapped, the rest of the Thunder went 8 for 13 from the field and 3 for 4 from the three-point line. So, again, this is what makes the Thunder so dangerous is because they have so much depth and so many guys that could play at an extremely high level that sometimes you don't need SGA to score 30 or 35 points.
And meanwhile, Perk, the Lakers are going to have to try to keep finding a way without Luka Doncic. And the Lakers, they went 10-8 in the games without Doncic during the regular season, but they only went 4-8 against eventual playoff teams, and they were outscored by almost 10 points per game in those contests. And Luka, he actually spoke about the rehab process for the first time yesterday.
Yeah, I'm running. Right now I'm running, but I haven't done any contact. I haven't been clear yet to do any contact. I'm just doing everything I can, like I said. Every day I'm doing stuff I'm supposed to do. Obviously recovering, now I'm working. But like I said, doctor said 8 weeks at the beginning of the first MRI. I'm just going day by day, and I feel better every day.
So let's just check in on the timeline here, right? Because it's been 5 weeks, actually exactly, since Luka's initial injury. That was on April 2nd, also against the Thunder. That means by his timeline, he's still 3 weeks away. Even if this series went a full 7 games, it seems unlikely that Luka would be back until the conference finals if the timeline that he's talking about stays the same here. So since we're talking about Luka, it doesn't seem like he's going to be coming in through the open door as the knight in shining armor anytime soon here, Brian. So for the Lakers to do the improbable, to even up this series, what needs to happen?
They did so many things well in Game 1.
They really did.
It's a little bit disheartening that they still lost by 18. One of the things they got to do is they got to get the turnovers down. And they forced a bunch of turnovers, as you were illustrating, but 18 turnovers for the Lakers. The Thunder are obsessed with possessions. The first stat that they look at during the games is how many possessions do we have? Before rebounds, before anything else, how many possessions? They actually played them even in possessions, guys, in this game. That is a victory because the Thunder beat everybody in possessions. But the 18 turnovers, they could have had a possession advantage. They only got 90 points. They're going to have a hard time scoring without Luka against this team. I know it's simple. Everybody says it. The Thunder are bred to cause turnovers. But that's a place to start. Keep the turnovers down. You give yourself a better chance.
Well, and you got to value the hockey assists because we just showed on those highlights the turnovers came from guys trying to either make the assist, the home run pass.
Right.
You got to make the hockey assist, the pass to the pass. But I'm going to say this. Austin Reaves, he has to show up. He has to show up. Rich Paul caught a lot of heat on his podcast with him and Max Kellerman. I forget the name of it, but when he said, hey, it's Austin Reaves and Luka guys that you go build your franchise around. And the answer is, can you deliver, Luka? Austin Reaves. Braun needs you. We can't put too much ownership on Marcus Smart. He got the assignment of guarding SGA. I know they double teaming him in the half court, but he putting so much energy in picking them up 94 feet, denying them and stuff like that. So this is a moment for Austin Reaves. He's auditioning right now.
And we're going to hear more on the plan for Austin Reaves tonight because he is coming off an injury of his own. But I kind of am expecting 2 things in this game, right? One, I'm expecting...
The ball still stuck behind the basket. Maxey, you're tall. You try it.
I like it. Come on. They're booing him in the garden.
I didn't say anything to Andre. to none of them, but I did say something to Maxey, and that's why y'all saw us laughing at the free throw line, because he walked up to me and I was like, I went to Kentucky longer than you, so I have a little more experience, you know, with the geometry and all that comes with getting the ball off of that.
You know what, Malika and Wendy? It's an art to this stuff like this, and it's a science to this. And the worst thing in the world for me is having Richard Jefferson laugh at me. Andre Drummond should be ashamed of himself.
That looks really up there.
This is...
Oh, Perk, you got it? Are you sure?
There you go.
There you go.
It's easy word.
Never
Look,
in doubt, Perk.
Around the crib, they call me Jack of all trades. I get it done, Wendy.
In doubt. Perk, you're doing it all for us. And Kat did a little bit of everything yesterday for the New York Knicks without Joel Embiid. Nice job, buddy. With no Embiid in the paint, though, that means it was wide open. So let's take a look at Karl Anthony Towns, right? Receives the ball around the three-point line. It pulls the rim protector Andre Drummond out here, Perk.
Yeah, I mean, this is the quote-unquote Golden State offense where you have spacing. And great job by Mike Brown unlocking this version of Karl Anthony Towns.
Well, and it was Karl Anthony Towns once again. Look, here he spots Mikal Bridges, who's cutting to the basket. And he's able to lay it up and in. Again, so Cat averaged just 3 assists in the regular season. He had doubled that mark in the playoffs. And especially with no Joel Embiid, they're really able to take advantage. But Cat can also impact things without the ball in his hands.
Yeah, I mean, because he's arguably the best shooting big to play the game, but having the spacing and having to draw so much attention, it opens up for guys like Big Body Brunson.
No Joel Embiid, whatever you want, that's the way they need it. They got everything they wanted in the paint. The Knicks, they have outscored Philly by 52 points in paint this series. That is tied with the 2001 Lakers for the best paint scoring margin through 2 games of a playoff series since tracking began back in 1998. So staying in the Eastern Conference here, we got game 2 tonight of the Cavaliers and Pistons. Cleveland in danger of falling down 0-2 for the second straight year as we say hello to our Jamal Collier, who's covering this series and is in Detroit. Jamal, how exactly are the Cavaliers planning to bounce back?
Malika, it starts with turnovers. It's been the story all postseason for James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. They gave the Pistons 31 points off those turnovers in game 1. And Harden and Mitchell, they've been confident really throughout this playoffs that these mistakes have been self-inflicted and that they can clean them up. And I've been with these guys since the start of this playoff run. That's been really that confidence and poise has been how they've been projecting no matter after a win and especially after a loss. So much that Kenny Atkinson, their coach, says, sometimes I can't tell if it's regular season or playoffs, the way that these guys and their demeanor has been. Wrote about this for ESPN.com as you see that bond between Harden and Mitchell. Mitchell said he's really happy to have a kindred spirit in James Harden, a guy who's been through these moments before, who's been in deep playoff runs, but has ultimately come up short and hasn't won a championship. And the reason for that poise and confidence is because Mitchell says, look, we've put in the work. We made the big trade for Harden, and now it's time to trust in that. And he doesn't really feel the pressure of what's really an important postseason run for these Cavaliers.
Yeah, it's an excellent story. Their connection is so important for Cleveland, but they can't find camaraderie and turnovers. Both of them can't be struggling with that, as you mentioned, Jamal. We really appreciate the insight into the Cavaliers here. Since we're talking about the turnovers, take a look at this. The Cavs, this has been the story for them all postseason. They have at least 15 turnovers in 6 straight games, Perk. That's the worst streak in franchise postseason history. The last team to reach the finals averaging at least 17 turnovers a game. Anyone know? You got to go all the way back to 1996. It was the Sonics. Perk, yesterday, you had a lot to say about the Cavaliers in all of this and their responsibility and who needs to step up. So how important is this game, too?
Oh, it's very important. Another must-win situation. Wendy, you got to vote, right? You voted for.
I did.
What about you?
I like that you kept the broom, by the way.
I got to. I worked magic with it, so it might come home with me. Listen, here's the thing. You got to vote, right? You voted Donovan Mitchell, All-NBA?
I did.
Me too. Is he playing like it?
He's not.
No, so that's simple. Like, hey, raise your level of play. Because the guy that you're playing against in Cade Cunningham over the last 4 games,